I wish I had done this when I first started reselling years ago on eBay. This series, From Where I Sit, covers trending topics in the reselling space. First, I provide my thoughts on the current topic, and then I answer questions and reply to your comments right after, because Resolutions gives you real solutions. Today's topic is all about what I've learned over the years. There are 5 key points that would have made my reselling life so much easier if I had done them earlier. And instead of making you wait until further down the video, let me start with the most important, STR, or sell-through rate.
Well, that's new. Most YouTubers make you wait.
Yes, they do. I figured if you guys want to watch the entire video because it provides actual value, you'll stay. In the beginning, I stocked up on too many items that just didn't move. I wish I had paid more attention to what sells quickly and learned how to turn over inventory faster. Like most of you, I did this because I was focused on the wrong thing. Store size versus store quality. Having 10,000 shit items makes for a bad business. Yes, you may have 10,000 items and feel proud that you did all that work. But what's the point if they don't sell, other than stroking your ego?
Stroking your what?
Don't be dirty, Bruce. This is why I recommend you research your niche or niches and identify products with high demand and quick turnover. This not only improves your cash flow, but also frees up space and resources for new and profitable items. Second thing I wish I did earlier in my reselling business was investing in better tools. When I first started, I was thinking small and cheap, which made sense at the time because I had less investment capital than I have now. I was trying to save money everywhere I could, but I quickly learned that quality tools can drastically improve efficiency, professionalism, and overall mood to run your business properly. Who here has thought of throwing their printer out the window when it stops working at the most inopportune time? And why does that happen? Usually it's because you have a shit printer. It's happened to me plenty of times with all kinds of tools.
I can attest to that. He once threw my ghetto blaster out the window because my music was too loud. Have tantrums much?
I asked you nicely, and you didn't listen. Whether it's a reliable shipping scale, a label printer, or even something as simple as a tape gun, having the right tool can save you time and reduce error. It's worth spending a bit more upfront for tools that will pay off in the long run. I am going to link necessary items below that help you run your business properly. And trust me when I say this, just spend the money. And if you don't have the money, find it. Third thing I wish I did earlier in my business was learn how to ship better. Efficient shipping practices can make a huge difference in your reselling business. At first, I struggled with packaging and shipping, which led to wasted time and pissed off customers. But I learned how to correct it over time. This is why I have videos about shipping on my channel. You can go through my library and find whatever you're looking for. I think there are certain items that scare people and they refuse profits because they don't want to try and ship them. I recommend you invest in good packaging materials, learn the best practices for shipping different items, and always try and cut down on rates. Instead of shipping everything priority because using free envelopes is easy, try to ship it ground advantage and save money. Savings add up fast.
And speaking of that, you guys can use those savings to become members of the Resolutions Posse. Just click join below. It can cost you less than gas station coffee.
Fourth thing I wish I did earlier in my business is amass more cash flow. Early on, I didn't pay enough attention to my cash flow because it was all about spend, which often left me short on funds for new inventory or unexpected expenses. At times, I was taking too much out in payroll and not leaving enough in the bank for future purchases. I recommend you keep track of your cash flow closely, set aside funds for reinvestment, and always have a financial cushion for emergencies. And a pro tip, if you have an official business set up, you should work on your business credit so that it is available when you need it. You can get a loan, line of credit, or simple credit cards as you grow. Good cash flow management allows your business to stay flexible and responsive to market changes. Finally, the last thing I wish I did earlier in my business is focus. Focus on a specific niche or strategy. Although I do have an eBay everything store because it is interesting and fun, my Amazon business is laser focused on just 3 categories that include health and beauty, consumer electronics, and collectibles. When I began, I was all over the place trying to sell anything and everything. This lack of focus diluted my efforts and made it hard to build a strong business. As I continue to grow, my goal is to stop selling other people's stuff. meaning stop being a general reseller. What I want is to build my own brand from scratch and take it to the moon. We'll see how that goes in time. What I recommend is to take the time to define your niche and develop a clear strategy. Focus on what you're passionate about and where you see the most potential. This will help you build a strong business and connect to your target audience more effectively. eBay seems to be trying to get everyone to niche down, so don't get left out in the cold. I'm sure that that's what they're doing. And there you have it. The top 5 things I wish I had done when I first started reselling. I hope these tips help you on your reselling journey and give you the insights you need to succeed. Now on to answer your questions and respond to your comments, because Resolutions gives you real solutions. But before I do that, give this video a like, share this with anyone that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. This right here is my favorite part. At Adam M5530 says, don't sleep on estate sales. He's referencing the thrift stores versus garage sales. That is a great point. If you guys don't go to estate sales, you're definitely missing out. Now, let me just say this. I know that estate sales are getting insane. Everybody thinks that they're a pro and they're like, oh, well, look at eBay. And they're using eBay, Mercari, and other places like that to price their items. But that doesn't mean that you can't find good items still at estate sales. And should you go the first day, second day, third day, what? Because usually it's full price, half off, or 25% off, half off, 75, whatever, right? I don't think that you should always wait to have 50% off, 75% off. I really think that if you're good enough and if you know enough product, you can find where to make money at any point of the estate sale. I go all the time and I always have good finds. So you should try them too if you haven't already. At Ms. The Old YouTube says, how do you keep your ear on the ground on wholesale purchasing? Any tips to someone looking to enter the market? Wholesale purchasing is interesting. There's a couple of ways. One, you can look at auctions and always be on the receiving lists for auctions, online auctions, local auctions, and whatever. But for the most part, what's going to happen is that you need to make contacts. You need to know people that are buying, that are already in the industry, because when they get merchandise that you need, that maybe they don't sell, but you do, they'll contact you because they want to get rid of it. Or if they're already buying wholesale and while they're there, they're like, oh man, I remember a friend of mine, Damien, is looking for electronics. Let me give him a call. Why? Just because people want to help each other. At Wisco Thrift says, great live. This spoke to me so much. I am working hard to go full time the last few years, kicking it into gear. I work a corporate job and I hate it. Completely undervalued and taken advantage of. I am sick and tired of working so hard to make the execs rich. I love working hard, but I want to do it for me. That is a great, great point to make. And she is referencing the last live, Reselling Full Time. I'm glad that it spoke to you, because I think sometimes we need to hear it from someone else in a certain way at a certain time so that it can actually click. Because we know what we need to do. We know that we want to go full time. If you want to go full time, usually you know that you want to do it, but you haven't pulled the trigger. Nobody has pushed you that way, because usually you haven't heard that message in such a way that it clicks with you. Now that it has, make a plan and follow through. A good reference point or a good way to think about it is do it by 2025. That gives you, what is it? We're in August, so this is month 8, and there's 12 months. So it gives you 4 months to get ready for 2025 so you can become a full-time reseller. I know you can do it. At Shannon Greenlaw 321 says, is there a website or something to know what to go buy from Walmart? Mine is 30 minutes away, and I don't want to spend 5 hours scanning everything in the store. Plus, I don't understand why people buy something that sells in Walmart online on eBay. Okay, great points here. Let me say a couple of things. 30 minutes to go to a Walmart is actually not that far. I understand that it might seem far to you, but I drive sometimes an hour and 10, or an hour and 30, or even 2 hours to go to a next big, very big city so that I can do all my purchasing. You just have to make time for that day to go do other things around that. That means that you go to that Walmart and maybe hit other thrift stores or hit other places that you can do so that you don't feel like it's wasted time. Secondly, is there apps or something that will tell you? Yes, of course. You can do BrickSeek. Also, why do people sometimes buy on eBay what they can buy on Walmart.com? Well, 2 reasons. One, because a lot of people are, let's just say that they're unaware that that item is also on Walmart.com. Maybe they're already on the app and they start shopping for everything. People want convenience. They don't always care about, let me get it cheapest. Let me find. Like, let's just say that you want to buy this glass and you go through 3 hours of searching through all the websites to save $2. That's just stupid. Like, that's why people don't want to do that. They want to go to one place and they want to get everything there. This is why people always shop on Amazon, because they can get anything. So you need to provide convenience. That is what essentially what you're doing. You need to go find it at Walmart, put it on eBay, and sell it. That's it. At Thrifting Granny 13, nothing more frustrating than finding a great item that will sell quick for good money and not having the right box ahead of time. Ain't that the truth? She is referencing how to source products to resell. That is so true. You're not always going to have all the boxes or all the right boxes, but what you can do is learn how to make a box in case something like this happens. I do have videos on how to make boxes. I'm going to link them down below so you guys can check them out. But for the most part, what you want is to have a variety of boxes so that you can fit all kinds of items. This is why you have to think. When you're out and about in the field, in thrifting, buying, whatever, let's just say you buy this lamp. You have to think, how am I going to ship it? Do I have the means to ship it? How am I going to protect this glass? Because this is stained glass. What am I going to do? How am I going to protect it? So now you have to start thinking that way. And maybe this item is not for you. If you don't have the box, you don't have the means for it, you don't have the want to ship it, then don't buy it. Don't buy it just because it's going to make money. It's going to piss you off more, or it's going to slow you down more, that it doesn't make sense. I hope that makes sense. At SDiane, if 5HH says, I have a box full of watches. Most probably need batteries. Would you replace batteries or sell in a lot, or what would you do with them? I have a ton of watches that don't have batteries. There's always two things to look at. If you replace a battery, will you get a lot more money, or will you get $1 or $2 more? If you leave the battery, how much money will you get? You always have to analyze. If replacing the batteries usually will cost you anywhere from $3 to $4 a battery, and then you have to take the time to replace it. If it's a $50 watch and you replace the battery and it becomes a $200 watch, no brainer, switch that battery. Change it out. Take the time to do it. If it's a $50 watch, you replace it with a $5 battery and it becomes a $58 watch, that's just stupid. You're wasting time. So it just depends. I like to change out batteries and I like to work on watches, so I'm almost always going to choose to do it. But that's just me. That's just because I want to space out and do that, because I love doing it. But does it always make sense? No. Do it only if it makes sense. At Spruce and Guts, it says, great info as always. You're so right about selling what you love. And then she says a couple of things, but I wanted to point this out. Jewelry has been my top seller this summer, so I'm going to go harder on vintage jewelry, and I love it and easier to store and ship. That is definitely the case. I just started getting into smaller things like brooches, jewelry, earrings, things like that. But as a man, it's just a lot harder because the way that I see it is that, yes, men buy jewelry too, but a lot of the jewelry that I have found at thrift stores or at estate sales or garage sales, usually it's women's stuff. And I don't know what's cute and what sells and what doesn't sell. That's not my category. I am trying to learn it, and I will learn it. But I can tell you that it's awesome because you can put 100 items into a little ass box like this, and it ships like that. It doesn't take any time to ship. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's fast. That's why I want to do it. I just bought some brooches for, they look like teachers. They have a little apple, a book, whatever. And I know that they'll sell, especially coming with back to school coming up. So that's what I want to get into. If you have any suggestions or comments on this, please let me know down below, because I would love to learn more about doing things like this. And what sold? Star Wars Timothy Zhang duology. Oh, books. I love selling books. At Preacher Ski says, I recently decided to mostly turn to clothing due to ease of storage, and obviously it's more available in thrift stores. Yes, it is. I found a thrift store that seems to be honestly a honey hole for outdoors and workwear. Believe it or not, multiple resellers passed 2 brand new Carhartt hoodies for $350. Damn. And multiple cool and Vertex pants for under $7. He's referencing how to source products to resell. That is a good one. You should always look for things that everybody else passes on by. This is why you need to have knowledge on a lot of different categories. Great job, bro. I love shopping for cool. Cool pants move like that. Eddie Bauer, anything outdoors really. But I am an outdoor person. So I already know what sells and what doesn't sell. If you don't, that means that you need to get into those categories if you want to make more money or add a new category. You need to get into those categories and learn them. That's the only way to get an edge on the competition. At Adam M5530 says, great info even for experienced sellers. He's referencing how to source products to resell. You know what? I put this up here because I want to remind everybody. I've been doing this for a long time, and I mean a long ass time. But that doesn't mean that I can't learn. This is why I asked earlier, can you show me about jewelry? I don't know jack about jewelry, but I want to know. I think a lot of the times us as experienced resellers think I know everything. I don't need to go watch anything else. I don't need to go learn from this person or that person. And that is wrong. That is just not the right thing to do. Maybe somebody else will give you a nugget of truth or a nugget of new information that will skyrocket your sales. Who knows? So don't think that you're above everybody else. Never. Doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 1 year or 50 years. Doesn't matter. You have to be humble enough to learn from someone else. Except me, because I know everything, so I'm kidding. At Cubonic says, thank you, definitely needed this video. I don't have a lot of space, but need ROI on small items. He's referencing how to source products to resell. Most definitely. I talk a lot about what to look for when you are trying to source. A lot of the times we just source because it's going to make money. It's going to make money. But you have to think about space. You have to think about what the return is. Just because I can buy this and it makes me money doesn't mean I should buy it. Maybe it's only making me $2 and it's taking me 20 minutes to ship. Why the hell would I buy it? So you always have to think ahead of time when you're sourcing. At Istalk Grizz says, hey brother, I thought you had done one in the past. Do you mind giving us a step-by-step on how you created your vertical trifold flat lay to shoot photos of clothing? Yes, I do have one. I don't mind showing you. I'm not going to do it again though. I'm going to link it below. It is very easy. I have a list of products that you can get there, and trust me, it's so awesome. I see a bunch of flat lays everywhere. It's not a new thing that I did. But what I did do is that I was able to put it behind the door and away from everything else. Look, I see flat lays. They're like, these people are like, oh my God, this is the best flat lay ever. And it's like 8 feet wide, 8 feet tall, with lights everywhere. And it's like, bro, you're taking up a whole room. You're taking up the whole garage. Maybe some people don't have that space. If you don't have that space, mine works really well. I have more than enough space, but I don't like to be wasteful. Why the hell would I waste space on a shooting area when I can save it to put in more product to sell? That's why I did that. It's super lightweight. It's not made out of wood like everybody else. I made it out of this big plywood and it's going to last forever. Okay, maybe, but I've used mine for a long time and it's super awesome and it works really well. And in fact, I was actually back and forth with this person on email. She was asking me how to glue things together, like the two panels together. Well, actually, you cut it all the way across and the fabric is what holds the two panels so that you can fold it. It's super awesome. And if you could get all the items that you have on there, I do have links on there because it does help the channel. It gives me a kickback from every sale that you guys make or from every purchase you guys make. So that would be very helpful. At Vanessa Funkytown TX Picker says, I had my first fight at the bins a couple of weeks ago. People are so petty. That is for damn sure. That's why I don't like to go to the bins. And I'm not talking shit to any of you that want to go to the bins. You want to go to the bins, fine. But I've said this before. As soon as you walk in, it smells like piss. You start coughing because there's a bunch of shit everywhere. Like your allergies start acting up. There's people that are ghetto. I mean, ghetto as fuck. Ghetto. And I'm ghetto. And I think that they're ghetto. So you can just imagine the type of people that I've seen there. They're just like, and I understand it's because it's their business. And they're all, they're pushing and shoving. And people have no sense of like, you know what? We're all here doing the same thing. Why don't we just chill out? Help each other, get your spot, get what you need. Don't try to get everything away from everybody. Like grabbing clothes like this and putting them in the cart, then going through them and then putting everything back. It's like, come on, bro. Are you petty like that? So for me, I hate going to the bins. I might shoot a video for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. But I don't go there because I have a short fuse sometimes. And I don't want to get into a fight. What is going to happen? I get into a fight, win or lose, I'm going to go to jail. And I don't want to do that. So, there you go. And Vanessa, did you win or lose? Leave it in the comments below. And along those lines, Vanessa Funkytown TX Picker also asks, question, when does fourth quarter start kicking in and when should I start selling my Christmas stuff? Excellent, excellent question. I never get questions like this. People don't really think too much ahead. They want to think now, 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 now. What is selling now, now, now? Well, how many shirts can I sell? It's winter time. Where can I go winter stuff? Instead of thinking it's winter time, where can I get summer stuff? You always have to think ahead. And let me give you a piece of advice. Whenever Hobby Lobby, if you have a Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that in your area, whenever they start changing for the season, like whenever they start putting out new season, that's when you should start doing it. And let me explain why. Most people don't think about this, but they are advertising for you. Let's just say that I'm a mom or I'm a dad that makes very little money and I have 3 kids and I really want to make a special Christmas for them. And I go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And although their stuff is really cheap because it's all Chinese crap, maybe I can't afford it. So now they think, oh shit, it's July. I can't afford it. But where else can I get it? So now they get on eBay and they go look for your stuff that most of the time, because it's either pre-owned or whatever, they're going to get it cheaper. So now they're going to go look for you, your product. That means that they are advertising for you and it's totally free. So follow along their lines and you'll do very well. And that's it, everybody. To continue to support the channel, you can always buy a shirt, a hat, or a logo sticker from the store below. And as always, give this video a like, share this with anybody that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace. And cheers as always. I woke up with the worst migraine today. I mean, bullshit migraine. I was just pissed in the morning. So I'm drinking water. I need to hydrate. That's one of the things that if you get migraines a lot, you should hydrate. And also because there's a lot of pollen and shit outside, so, it gets through your sinuses. That also might be the case, but usually hydration gets rid of headaches. Test, 1, 2. Let's do this thing. Now let's get these questions answered, sucker. I always have to drink water because if not, I sound like this. Oh, that's not what you want. I listen to YouTube channels all the time when they're like in between sentences. That bugs me. What, right? Blah, 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 blah.